This may end up being a very controversial one, I cannot lie. So I know you've seen this title and you may be very confused, but just let me explain. Do I think learning is essential? Yes, but I feel as though sometimes it can most definitely be used as a trap. So many of us, including me a lot of the time, get stuck in this endless loop of feeling like we need to learn and learn and learn every minute detail of everything we're trying to achieve, where we get to this point where we don't actually end up starting the thing we want to achieve. Learning feels very productive, but if you really think about it, you are just stuck in one place with a bank of knowledge for something that you haven't actually started yet. During my short time at university, I thought that I was doing everything right. I was going to studies, I was going to lectures, I was studying films that I'd never seen before because they came out 50, 60 years ago and I needed to study them. But when I was realizing that I was paying 10 grand a year for lessons I could have got on YouTube for completely free, I knew something was wrong. And that's when I made the really difficult decision of dropping out. Now, don't get me wrong, this wasn't a decision I did overnight. And I do think there's a lot of people who feel as though university is the right decision for them. And to them, you might be right. The dropping out process was really scary because I didn't necessarily have a plan. And normally I really need a plan because it makes you feel very comfortable and very safe, which is also kind of how you feel when you're learning. But I decided to do it anyways. I simply made one promise to myself that no matter what, I would throw myself into opportunities, even if I was very scared, that I knew were going to push my career forward. Now, although I'm saying this very confidently, I do want you to understand kind of the standpoint that I'm in, so you know where this sort of information is coming from. I am a 19-year-old who's kind of teaching you what you should and shouldn't do when deciding your career in film. I kind of want the understanding that I'm kind of showing you what I'm doing on my journey, and you can decide for yourself whether or not that suits you and your position. Now, I didn't necessarily feel like dropping out was the easiest thing for me, and I didn't necessarily have the support where I could do that. And for a while, it did take a lot of convincing for my parents and everyone around me. But I simply told them that if I don't do this, I won't achieve this, or I'll be waiting 3 years to study something rather than trying to do it and kind of weave my way in and make my way up from there. The first thing I got when coming out of university was some location marshalling roles. Although this was a very low role, it gave me the chance to kind of talk to those people and be around those people that I want to eventually be with and be doing their sort of roles in film. That being like camera operators, producers, that sort of thing. Now, when you're out on your own, in my instance freelancing, it is not glamorous. You will fail, you will question why you're doing these things, and you will time and time again decide whether or not dropping out of uni was the best decision for you. And I know a lot of people who have actually gone into film in uni and dropped out and been successful, and some who are also really struggling. So it's very much a toss-up on whether or not it will pay off, and it's mainly just down to how determined you are, even if you don't necessarily get it straight away. So here's my challenge to you now. Now, I know I'll be saying this towards people who focus in video, but anyone else can also do the same sort of thing. Pick up your camera, your phone, whatever you shoot with, and say yes to the projects that you've been scared of. These could be really minuscule projects like starting a YouTube channel, or maybe film projects that you can start doing with your friends, or even on your own. But if you keep trying and learning from every mistake that you do make and every shoot that you've been on, but you just simply can't help but get better. If you house that knowledge for however long you do, it's practically pointless, and no one knows whether or not you're really good at this or you're really good at that because you haven't shown them. You may never be 100% ready, and a lot of people who are at the very top of their game aren't, but you don't need to be. Start where you are with what you have, and remember, learning is good, but doing is a lot better. I do apologize that this has been a short video, but hopefully it has set in any way, shape or form, and I will see you next week.